Hey guys, this is part two of my preview for new challengers. Just going to be going through the cards in this pack. This is the second third of it. I'll be finishing this up tomorrow, but now I'm just going to go through some more of the cards that are coming in this pack. A lot of interesting ones. So to start off, there are going to be a few worm cards that are coming in. Very nice to see the worm type kind of be more expanded, have more than Yang Zing. So we do have a few here. Lindbloom looks like an interesting one to change attack to defense, which is just a really weird effect, but could be powerful. I really like Knight Dragolich, which really can annoy your opponent if they're not using worm type monsters. You can really blow up whatever monsters they're summoning. So I feel like this will be a pretty powerful card if you're running a worm deck. And then Unmasked Dragon, just a masked dragon for worms, which is pretty nice considering, a lot of those lower defense worm monsters like Yang Zings could be easily special summoned and to make big plays with them very easily with this card. Machinas are getting a new card, Machina Megaform. I'm still kind of debating this. I really like the fact that it is able to special summon, which is pretty cool because it can also search out what you need. So I feel like there's some consistency you can do with this card, but you just have to be able to get it out and do things with it in order to make it work out. And then Zaborg the Mega Monarch. So usually I wouldn't be too thrilled about this because you're not really using Zaborg anyway, so why would you use the Mega Monarch version of him? But the fact that you can blow up your opponent's extra deck is really powerful. Think of a deck that's reliant on a few extra deck cards. If you're able to look at their extra deck and get rid of 5, 6, 7 cards, they might not have any chance of winning depending on what type of deck they're running. So that could be a very powerful effect. So maybe we'll see that being used in the future. So there's another level 2 beast coming in. I'm loving these like level 2 beast support cards. I'm a big fan of Baby Raccoon. So Valerifawn, this one's just kind of helping you special summon, which is nice to get those XYZs out or something. But it's also a tuner, so there's a lot of interesting plays you could do with this. Looks like a really effective card for a deck that runs level 2 beasts. Rescue Hamster, another part of the rescue kind of card series. This one's more for pendulums. It is a pendulum card, helping you either search out pendulums or special summon pendulums that are, those lower level monsters. So this will help you if you're relying on lower level pendulums. And then Watchdog, this is just a search card for continuous spells, so this might be good for a deck like Fire Fist or something that really relies on continuous spells, so keep an eye on that if your deck, relies on that or really wants to search out one of those. And then Denko Sekka, this one is kind of just a Dark Zaborg. It's like a mini Dark Zaborg. It has some stiff requirements to it that you can't have set spell or traps, but you're able to really lock down your opponent. So I feel like if you're pushing the advantage and you're worried about back row, this could be a very powerful card. So maybe we'll see this being used. Keep in mind Thunder, Light, 1700, a lot of interesting stuff going on there that could be useful for certain deck types. Deskbot, another one of the Deskbots. I'm not a huge fan of all these cards, but I feel like there's some big plays you could do with this down the road. I'm just not too thrilled about it yet. Misjudge, this is one of these kind of just luck cards with coins. Nice attack, 1800, but having to get 2 heads in order to negate an effect is kind of annoying. Maybe in a deck that is able to make flip coins, more active, like making them do what you want, then maybe this could be powerful, but otherwise, I'm not a big fan of it. And then we have Scrounging Goblin, which is another goblin card that searches out goblin cards. I really like that goblins can be kind of becoming an archetype. I feel like maybe they'll expand that in the future to be a full archetype. Kind of like how they did with penguins. So I'd really love to see that. Yeah, this card will be just very nice for searching out whatever goblin card you want. And then Herald of Ultimateness, I hate that name. I think it was called like Herald of Glorious Light or something in the OCG. But either way, this is kind of Herald and Vanity's Emptiness combined. Very, very powerful card. Obviously, the levels is insane on it, so it's going to be very tough to summon. But if you can summon it, then your opponent's not going to be able to do much. Very nice lockdown card. Wonder Balloons, this is a card that's basically just focused on lowering your opponent's attack. Very nice for a deck that sends things to the graveyard. Nice for a deck that summons Ragnazero, which can abuse this card like crazy. Mimiclay, as we were talking about level 2 monsters, this will be able to support level 2 monsters easily to special summon them, so nice there. Draw Muscle, just another 1-for-1 card that allows you to draw a card and keep your card from being destroyed, which is nice if you're kind of running a defending deck, because this is kind of a free card for you. Magical Star Illusion, really weird card, just helping you increase attacks on the field, but also increases everyone's. It's really dependent on what's going on the field, but if you're able to blow up your opponent enough with the increases based on levels, like you have high level monsters anyway, this might be useful. First Movement Solo, just a support card for Melodious, is very powerful for them because they can special summon from the deck. Very nice to get those, wall Melodiouses down so you can protect whatever you need on the field. Toy Vendor, just a very good support card for the Fluffle archetype, allowing them to search out and get what they need. Just going to be very powerful for them, and this is also searchable by one of their cards. Saqlifice, so this is really interesting, an equip card with 3 effects kind of for, but really nice that it's able to kind of give a Quill a little more attack and also keep them from being destroyed by battle. And then they're also being able to use as a double tribute, which is very powerful for their deck type. And you can also search out if it gets destroyed. So very powerful. I like that Konami is realizing that equip cards need to be a little more powerful. Laser Qlip, just the field card for them, going to be very powerful to help them continuously normal summon and not worry about things. Hexatellarknight, the field card for Tellarknights. I'm still kind of debating this. It is kind of powerful because you can negate attacks continuously until you want to set up things on the field, and because of those recycling cards they just added to the game, this could be really interesting with those. So keep in mind with that card. Shaddoll Fusion, just another fusion card for Shaddolls, which is powerful. You know, they only have 3, so nice to have this. And they'll be able to, you know, react with Shaddoll Fusion, so that's kind of powerful. And then there's a field card for Worms. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just kind of, you know, a staple attack and defense increase. Being able to banish your Worms and then destroy a card is nice, but I feel like the deck that will use Worms the most will be Yang Zings, which probably rely more on the graveyard, so I'm not really sure about that quite yet. So I'm still kind of seeing, you know, what this card could do. So now some of the extra deck cards that are coming: Frightfur Bear and Frightfur Wolf. Just, you know, these kind of, they're weaker fusion monsters, but they have pretty powerful effects that Frightfur Wolf can attack more, and Bear can kind of equip cards and gain attack. You know, the reason they're weaker is probably because of how easy it is to summon in that deck, so just something to keep in mind with how they work. And then the new Shaddolls, Shekhinaga and Grysta, just cards that deal with special summons, going to be very powerful if you're able to run Fire or Earth tech, so we'll see how that develops. I think it'll be very useful just to deal with special summons. First, the Dragon is going to be a very powerful card for normal monsters. Really looking forward to running this with normal monsters. Yang Zings are getting another Synchro. I really love that they have more than one Synchro they can utilize, and I do like this card's effect that it is able to easily, you know, defend itself and destroy cards that you want. Herald of the Arc, like, just a really weird one that they're adding, kind of allowing you to search out the rituals and also have a defending Herald. Obviously very weak stats, but it's supposed to be more of a lockdown. And then a couple XYZs that are being added. Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. This one's very powerful. It'll allow you to deal with attacks. So now we have XYZs to deal with like everything because we can do something like this. So I feel like this card will be very useful. And then Stellarknight Triverr, going to be a very powerful card, allowing you to bounce everything on the field. So another Tellarknight XYZ that they're definitely going to be using to deal with a ton of stuff on the field. So that's just part 2 of my preview of new challengers. Again, a ton of amazing cards that we really want to keep in mind with this new pack. And tomorrow I'll be going over the rest of the cards. But if any of these cards are interesting to you, let me know in the comments. Talk about what you're going to use. I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I'll see you guys tomorrow.